Saturday. I may have to transition this inside in a little bit as I see my battery's only got 29%. So we'll see how this live goes, see how much interaction we have. Make sure you hit that like button if you're tuning in, because it really does help push me through the analytics and allows more like you and I, more of us, to get in here. We have a lot to talk about here in the next 10 minutes before the daily close. But before I start anything, I want to say hello to anybody who's actually here right now, and I want to acknowledge what we're going to talk about today. So the most important thing tonight is we're all going to get on the same page and understand what kind of formation that daily candle is before the next 9 minutes is up, because then we'll have a better understanding of what the next move is going to be. I'm just pulling this up. For some reason, it's being very slow on YouTube to allow me to do what I need to do. I think it finally pulled it up. And now I can see the comments fine. So good evening, 7:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, August 26th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. ATX, welcome in Tanya, Zenda, John, Dean, Mel, ATK. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I know with XRP consolidating, sometimes it's not the most opportune times to tune in and, you know, maybe pay attention to what's going on the charts, but it's still important nonetheless. So what are we talking about here very quickly in the daily time frame? It started off, I appreciate it, Tanya. It started out as a dragonfly earlier, but with the extension up, it created a long leg doji here. So what that signifies is we were a little coming down here a little bit on the previous two candles, but it's signifying a pattern reversal. And this dragonfly signifying we had more top heavy pressure here. Even though we were a little bearish on the bottom of these candles, we pulled up at each of the successive candles. This candle, we barely even made any way down to the bottom side of this bearish side of town, as I would like to call it. So that actually bodes very, very well for XRP. I be killing it. Welcome in. I'll be happy if the coin hits a buck at this point. Yeah, I mean, in time it will. In time it will. Devin, good evening. I'm glad you were able to tune in. What's going on, Marvin? Welcome in. Jay, good evening. Well, it's going to hit $1 eventually, but you know. CJ, I'm also a future XRP millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Alabama. Go, Tom, you're the best. I appreciate that, and welcome in, CJ, from the great state of Alabama. Roll Tide, I suppose. But I guess that can go either way, but most who I've come across will say Roll Tide from Alabama. So right now we're looking at, very importantly here, that 524. Again, it's that 524 level. I don't know how many days in a row we've had this happen with XRP. War Eagle. Nice. Have you been playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre games? No, I have not. I have not. So we've got 6 minutes until the daily close. So that's the daily time frame. Still looks like a bull flag. The sky's within a bear flag because it came down bearish, but it still looks like to me that it's a bull flag in disguise. And it seems like it would have to come up here where this bearish cross is now at the 100-day, and we'd have to come up there and hit that formation to allow ourselves to push down if we're going to come down to the 2020 uptrend. So if that's the case, we'll go from 524. That's about a 9% move. It's a little bit, it's almost right at 9% up at this 57 cent area, 9%. So that's where I'm still anticipating we need to come to before we have a further move down. This long leg doji kind of signifies to me that we're starting to progress in the right direction here. Omar, welcome in. I really appreciate you tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Jay, 3 years, just a little bit long. Yep. I mean, it depends what part of the cycle you bought it at. You know, that's why it's so important to understand technical analysis, so you can identify from a bull market to a transition into a bear market. It's so vital. 45 people here on this Saturday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. 20 likes. The more of you that hit that like button, the more likely this content's going to get to circulate out there, and it'll make for a more active discussion. I do appreciate every single one of you that is tuning in, as it makes this even more important. So that's the daily time frame. We're trying to convert in that we're trying to confirm the bearish tone there, and if you get a confirmation where I circled it, that would confirm a further move down in that, where the bull or the bears have actually started taking over here, and we'd be a little bearish within the formation. Sean, welcome in. What's going on? I'm glad to see you in here. So if that happens and you were to get the rejection up there, that's how you would know this pattern's shaking out to be bearish. But right now we're about to be at the apex moment here. I'll just draw it in now since we're at the end of it. It's more important that we see it. I'll make that a smaller, put that back in the 2. I don't know what happened there. But this is about to hit the apex here. We can even start at the top of the formation. We're just going to come through. We can use the wicks here. You can come down lower. You can use the body. But in the 4 hourly, you have to pick and choose. But we're coming to a transcending point here. Good to be seen, bro. Yeah, Sean, I see everybody. I see everybody. Let's go into a smaller time frame. I'd like to make this as close to this apex hit as possible so that we can see exactly where it's going to bounce out of here. V-chain looking real good and long term. I'm going to move this up a little bit but V-chain's good. V-chain's real good long-term prospects. Why I own it. So I mean, we're squeezed in here now. I don't even really have to put that because it's converging with the other part of the pattern, but we're getting squeezed here. It makes it hard to see. I might put it on the other chart, but we're getting converged here. So in the daily, let's break this out and then come in real quick. The daily, we're trying to come up in here, retest that bearish cross that we had. Now crossing the 100. We just had a bearish cross in the 100. So if we're gonna come down even farther, it would be hard for us to come down without added liquidity, without hitting that area. So as the daily candle closes, we're looking for a close above 524. Right now we're slightly below that, and in a 30-minute time frame, we look like we're on a smaller flag here that should bring us up to the top of here. We had a golden cross, but every time we try to confirm it in the 30-minute, we have a breakdown. We came down to 522. Right now we're at 5232. So we'll see. We've got 2 minutes left. Are we going to pull back up, or is this going to slightly close under the daily time frame here? So what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we're going to close over? Do you think we're just going to stay slightly below it again? Because this looks like it's set up for a move up. It looks like it's setting up for a further move up. Not overall. The overall tone is still bearish. But to try to get that next move, I still think we need to have that hit on the bearish cross. And it'll probably stay below it though. Good optics to close below it. Then the technical traders might go short after the daily close because it closed under the 524. So definitely could be good optics there. But once we see what this daily close is, I'm going to have to transition this inside, so everybody's going to be able to see a 10-minute video, and then I'm just going to restart this. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I didn't realize that once this gets below 20%, it's going to disconnect my Wi-Fi, and I don't want to be faced with that. And I plan on having at least another hour after the close, so I may have to transition inside and restart this. I'm probably going to. So let's see where we close. So we closed at 5230 approximately. 5230. Not 5234. That's not, it's a little bit below but not terrible. That is not that's not a terrible close. We're trying to use that 524 as support. We've got this W reversal here. Looks like the making of a correction right here. And now if we can hold this level, we should be able to bounce out. First level would be the 534, and then up to the 544. So I'm gonna transition inside. I'll cut you all back if you're gonna watch the live. Make sure you watch this. It'll give you a quick update about the technical analysis, but my battery is low and I want to transition inside anyhow. Thank you all.